Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today we have the final installment of the updates on recent NHL drafts. We started with 2025, worked our way down now to 2021, because at this point, although I'm not saying these guys' careers are like set in stone, in terms of becoming an impact NHL guy, you usually know by like 22, 23 years old. I'm willing to bet there probably isn't like a Tage Thompson in this draft that out of nowhere is going to have 38 goals after previously being like a 25-point player. So yeah, the 2021 draft, there is a lot of good and not a lot of great in this draft. Like the 1 through 9 of this draft is about as even as you're going to find in like NHL history. There's like maybe one true franchise player from this draft, but it's a very deep draft in terms of it overall. So let's go through it. Let's get some updates on these guys. And yeah, that top two is not looking very good right now. Owen Power, he's struggling this year big time. 8 points in 29 games. His underlying numbers have been like better than that would suggest. He is just getting unlucky. But yeah, after that rookie season, you thought him and Dahlin were going to be like the 1-2 punch, best 1-2 punch in the entire NHL. But he just kind of stalled out. And yeah, it's tough. Like his value is rapidly shrinking. He's on this big contract at $8.35 million. Like, what is his future in Buffalo? Because he's never going to be the number one in Buffalo. You're never going to get the most out of him. That's why I didn't even have him as my number one guy in 2021. I had Matty Beniers and Luke Hughes number two. But yeah, it was understandable because there wasn't like a clear guy for them at first overall, but also it was a little bit of a weird fit given the fact that their best player, their franchise player at the time that was going to stay with the team was a left-handed defenseman. Next up, Matty Beniers, another guy that has just plateaued, has not really regressed this season. Actually, he's on pace for a better season than the prior 2 years. But yeah, after that 57-point season, you thought that you had a legit future point per game, two-way Selke level guy. He's still very good defensively. But yeah, at second overall as the potential cornerstone, the initial cornerstone of that franchise, the first draft pick in that franchise's history. You definitely expected more. And I think I just got to blame like the developmental staff, because we talked about it in the Kraken video, like, they haven't really developed jack dick in terms of players. Like McCann and Vince Dunn, those are their two developmental wins, but those guys were already budding elite players before they had very good underlying numbers before they even got to Seattle. But yeah, I had Beniers number one and thought he was going to be much better, but I blame Seattle also. Mason McTavish, I thought he was doing a little bit better this season. I guess just like everybody on Anaheim's playing so good that I think they're all breaking out. But still, 20 points, 30 games, probably going to go north of that 52-point mark that he had last year when Cronin was the goddamn coach. And yeah, big boy, very good shot. I think he's going to be the second line center of the future for the Anaheim Ducks. And now he finally has some elite wingers to play with. So yeah, Mason McTavish is looking pretty damn good right now. Luke Hughes, or Thanasis Hughes, as some people call him, not looking so hot, especially like a Matty Beniers, like an Owen Power. After that rookie year when he hit the ground running with 47 points, we thought, holy shit, he ain't no Nepo pick. He's a beast. Just hasn't really came. Like it comes in spurts. When he's given the opportunities in the prior season when Dougie Hamilton was hurt, he completely ran with it. This year, he's just been bad. Like whenever I watch the New Jersey Devils, he's messing up in some kind of way. Still has the offensive traits and especially the skating to make it work. But yeah, now that he's 22 years old, like I excused it when he was not 20, 21. Like it's getting concerning right now for the New Jersey Devils. And especially now that they're paying him $9 million for the next 7 years. Not saying he's some kind of bust or anything, but yeah, he needs to step it up. Kent Johnson, I don't know how. I know he started off rough. Let's see if he turned it around. Oh, 6 points in 29 games. Yeah, last year, I tried to warn people. I'm like, he had one of the highest on-ice shooting percentages, and his own shooting percentage was like 20% last year. It's gone the complete opposite direction. Like, this obviously isn't sustainable. He's not actually a 20-point player in the NHL. But yeah, talk about two varying seasons. Jesus Christ. My God. Yeah, I remember in 2024, Pascal Vincent, for some reason, didn't play him and just screwed up his development. But yeah, I think he can be a good second liner. But this season is yikes, to say the least. Simon Edvinsson, very good last year for the Detroit Red Wings, playing alongside Mort Seider, 31 points. The boy's 6'6". This year, not as productive offensively, but yeah, he's never going to be a guy that really racks up the points considering they have Seider. They have ASP now. He just needs to be a very good top pair partner for one of those guys or on the second pair. And I think that's what he can be. Like, that's what he was last year already at 21 years old. Not worried one bit about Simon Edvinsson. William Eklund, I had him number 3. I had Luke Hughes number 2, Beniers number 1 in my rankings. Oh, I thought Eklund was doing a little bit better than he is right now. Not saying that this is bad by any means, but yeah, after that 58-point season, once Celebrini and Smith got to the NHL level, He really started to pop. But yeah, I think he can still be a 70 to 75 point guy, especially playing with either Celebrini or Misa and playing on that top pair or that top power play. He's going to be well worth the 7th overall pick. Brant Clark. Yeah, Brant Clark, if he was on a different team that actually played him more, I think that he could already be a 50-ish point top pair, second pair, but top power play kind of defenseman already. I don't know how much LA's playing him right now. Last I checked, when he was at like the 15 game mark, it was still only like 17-30 a night. And Cody Ceci was playing more than goddamn Brant Clark. But yeah, hopefully once Doughty he's already starting to regress, they eventually just slowly start giving Brant Clark more and more minutes. Because this guy is a special offensive talent, dude. He was 2 points per game in the OHL in his draft year +2, draft year +3, near point per game in the AHL. And yeah, to start last year, he had like 18 points in his first 30 games. Then Drew Doughty, unfortunately came back. But unfortunately for his development, Drew Doughty came back. And then he went back to playing not that much. I'm still very high on Brant Clark. Dylan Guenther. Is he the best player in this top 9? Yeah, I'd probably say he's the best player in this top 9. Not the best player in this draft. We'll get to him. But yeah, what Dylan Guenther has done at the NHL level, hit the ground running. Well, he started the AHL, then 35 points in 45 games. Last year, 60 points, 27 goals. And this year, probably going to go for around 35 and 35. Unfortunately, his line mate Logan Cooley is now out for an extended period of time. But yeah, special shot on Dylan Guenther. And probably goes top 3, definitely top 5 in a redraft. Tyler Boucher. Let's talk about Mr. Boucher. Yeah, this was a huge reach in the moment. This was one of the biggest reaches, like, of the 21st century. I don't think that's ridiculous to say. He was expected to go like late 2nd round, early 3rd round. And the Sens just pulled the trigger at 10th overall. Son of Brian Boucher. And yeah, U.S. national team was not like hyper productive by any means. Goes to college, 3 points in 17 games in his draft year +1, 14 points in 24 OHL games. No bueno. Goes to the AHL. He has 6 points in 12 AHL games. But yeah, at this point, considering he's turning, 23 next month, probably not going to be an everyday NHLer. And it definitely hurts when you consider that Cole Sillinger, who has been an NHLer since his immediate draft year +1, was right after him. 13 points in 29 games. Yeah, he really hit the ground running. We thought, oh my God, they got maybe the top 3 player in this draft immediately. Then he had a bit of a down year, but he's kind of stabilized as a solid 30 to 40 point guy. Maybe not quite worth 12th overall, but still a solid pick. You got to remember Arizona had their pick stripped. They only got this pick because of the OEL trade. Go watch my worst moves of the 2020s videos. But yeah, Matt Coronado after this. Okay, he started turning around. He started off really, really slow this season. I wasn't that worried. I knew that Matt Coronado, Long Island native, was a very good player. I was not concerned. And yeah, 47 points, not 47 goals. 24 goals last season. Signed that big deal, which I think is a very good deal for the Calgary Flames. And yeah, now has 19 points, 31 games, on pace for 55, 60 points. Development is back on track for Matt Coronado. Isaac Rosen, this guy's like an AHL Hall of Famer for the 2020s at this point. We looked at him last video, and yeah, he made the jump to the AHL in his draft year +2. Productive, then very productive, then extremely productive. This season, dominating the AHL, and finally getting serious burn at the NHL level, and has 7 points in 11 games. Thank God. That dude was the king of Rochester for like 4 goddamn seasons, and now he's finally getting some serious playing time. Sebastian Cossa, how's he performing? 935 in the AHL this season. Yeah, he had a really, really rough draft year +2. And the AHL got cooked, had to go down to the ECHL, where he was solid, but it's the ECHL. And then he got back on track and is a top 6 or 7 goalie prospect in the NHL at this point, maybe even higher if he's doing this at the AHL, and especially considering Wallstead graduated this year. It was a little bit of a controversial pick. Well, they probably still should have gone Wallstead instead, but he's trending pretty decently if you're a Detroit Red Wings fan. Brendan Othman. Rangers fans hyped this guy up so much. And honestly, I don't blame him. In his draft year +1, he was kind of a beast, 97 points in 66 games. But then kind of in his draft year +2, regressed a decent amount. Was very good in the AHL. And yeah, 8 points in 17 games. There were trade talks. I don't know what his value would be at this point, like a 3rd round pick probably. And just the New York Rangers development on full display. Bolduc recently traded for Logan Mailloux. He had a very hot start with the Montreal Canadiens, had slowed down a little bit. Montreal still winning that trade by a mile. And yeah, 19 goals, 36 points, 72 games played. He just needs to be a solid middle sixer. Honestly, doesn't even have to build off this for that to be an amazing, amazing deal for the Montreal Canadiens and for him to be a very important piece of their future. He hits a lot. Just give me 20 goals, 45-ish points, and we're all set. And that's worth, kind of worth the 17th overall. Fedor Svechkov, he's been at the NHL level. Okay, not that productive. He was decently productive last year. You'll be happy if you get a good third liner at this point. Jesper Wallstedt, look at this beauty, man. A 936 in 11 games this season. Last year was so weird. So weird. He had an 879 in 20. That's like, it's full proof that goalies are kind of just voodoo. He's definitely closer to the goalie that he was in prior seasons than he was in 2025. But yeah, I don't think he's going to maintain a 936. But he is one of the brightest goaltenders in the entire NHL. Fabian Lysell, another guy that has been stuck in the AHL. At least he's back on track. Remember, 2024, he had that 50 points. And like, this guy's a very good prospect. Boston, give him a chance. They gave him a bit of a chance. Didn't quite work out. His AHL numbers dipped. But he's dominating the AHL right now. At some point, they should call him up and give him a serious look. Xavier Bourgault, of course, the Edmonton Oilers traded back from 20th overall, the pick that became Wallstedt, to get a third-round pick in this pick. Bourgault actually being pretty productive in the AHL right now, but he's playing with the Ottawa Senators. They didn't even get to see this through. Imagine Xavier Bourgault becomes like a really good NHLer and it's not on the Edmonton Oilers. That would be freaking awesome. Wyatt Johnston, the best player in this draft. I don't think I'm controversial for saying that, considering what this guy has done since he got drafted. He didn't have a draft year in the OHL, then puts up 124 points in 68 games, makes the jump, 24 goals, 65 points, 71 points, and now is above a point per game. Yes, he has like 10 power play goals, but what he has done in the regular season and in the playoffs, he's one of the brightest U23 players in the entire NHL, and Dallas is just like next level in terms of the drafting development. We'll talk about another pick probably in this video in the second round where they got another everyday NHLer. Mackie Samoskevich. It's ridiculous that Florida signed this guy for like $800,000 when he was a restricted free agent. I think that he was not offer sheet eligible, but yeah, hopefully someone throws an offer sheet his way because he's like playing like bottom 6 minutes, still at nearly half a point per game right now. Actually, he's probably playing a little bit more just because Florida has those injuries. But yeah, Florida, another team that drafts and develops. In fact, they got Lundell at what, 11th or 12th in 2020, and then Samoskevich at 24th. Now they just don't have any draft picks because they're all in. But yeah, very good drafting developing by them. Carson Kuhlman. Wasn't there a different Carson Kuhlmans in this draft? Did we get to him yet? Oh, no, we haven't. 8 points, 21 AHL games. He's a defenseman. Probably going to be nothing. Carson Lambos. He's been in the AHL for a while, right? Yeah. Probably not going to be anything. Zachary LaRue. This is a guy that in the QMJHL like whacked a fan with his stick. That's what I remember him from, at least. Been pretty decent in the AHL. He could maybe be a bottom sixer long term. Oscar Olesen. I might be botching that. Nothing special in terms of AHL numbers. Chase Stillman. I believe that this was the pick from the Kyle Palmieri trade, and he has not really turned into anything. Zachary Dean. This guy was in the Barbashev deal. He was traded 1-for-1 for Ivan Barbashev, and immediately, even at the time, it was a little bit confusing. And then he comes to the AHL and doesn't do much. Logan Malieu, we spoke about him with the Zachary Bolduc. He has been horrendous defensively and offensively, not really offering much for the St. Louis Blues. Probably has been the worst NHL defenseman that has played over 15 games this season. Not good by Mr. Armstrong. Nolan Allen. He got some NHL burn last year, but back in the AHL, Chicago just has a bunch of young defensemen, so probably not going to be much for them. Olin Zellweger, he's finally getting some burn with the Anaheim Ducks. 12 points, 30 games. Last year, 20 points. He's going to be behind Jackson Lacombe, but a very skilled offensive defenseman that should be in the league for a while. Riker Evans, he should be playing a lot more, but for some reason they signed Ryan Lindgren dumbly. How's Eve Boehm's brother doing? Okay, solid AHL numbers last year. It's actually it's okay AHL numbers, but I guess he's hurt right now. Josh Doan. This was also kind of viewed as a Nepo pick, but he's not a Nepo pick at all. He has really fanned out. 22 points in 30 games. Last year had unreal underlying numbers. I think he was like third in expected goals percentage, only behind like McDavid and Hyman. And yeah, it was obviously in the Peterka package. Now doing very good in Buffalo. How's Scott Morrow? Ooh, yikes. I was pretty high on Scott Morrow, but the Rangers development, man, in full swing with Mr. Scott Morrow. Francesco Pinelli. Logan Stankoven. This is the other that, like, what a draft, man. 23rd overall, you get Wyatt Johnson. 47th overall, you get Logan Stankoven, who's the key young piece in the Mikko Rantanen deal. And yeah, in Carolina, he's going to be a very good middle sixer for them for a long time. Let's see, anybody else that I recognize. Ville Koivunen, how's he doing in Pittsburgh? He's dominating the AHL, but the NHL numbers have not quite been there. Aturatu, the core young player in the Bo Horvat trade. Okay, good for Ratu, man. Dominated the AHL last year with 40 points in 43 games. Now actually getting some NHL production. Last week, he was my biggest surprise on my Instagram because he had like 5 points in 3 games. Matty Nyes. Probably put him on the thumbnail, considering this guy has had such a great progression. It was 57th overall. Yeah, went to Minnesota. Was awesome. Then 35 points, 58 points, now over a point per game. You thought, oh, with Mitch Marner leaving, he might be affected. No, he's just stood up to the challenge and has been very good. JJ Mosier was an overager in this draft by 3 years. Yeah, he's my age. Jeez. But yeah, this was a great pick by the Arizona Coyotes. Just seeing a guy that I guess was very good in the Swiss League. They're like, this guy is undrafted. Like, let's pick him up now. He can play in the NHL immediately, which is exactly what he did at 60th overall. And this year's underlying numbers, I think, have been really good for Tampa Bay. Colton Dock, the other Doc, he's on Chicago right now. Solid. Oliver Kapanen, Montreal. He's a very good start to the season, large in part because of Mr. Ivan Demidov. Ryder. There's Caden Korczak. Not Ryder, Coach Korczak. This is the guy that Edmonton, when they traded back 3 spots in the first round, this is the guy that they got. Went to U Vermont for a while, now playing in the 2nd-tier German league. Yikes. Who else? Ethan Del Mastro. See, like, Chicago just has so many young defensemen. Like, so many young defensemen. Jackson Blake, 109th. Speaking of Dallas drafting amazingly, Carolina usually finds these guys late. And Jackson Blake's 8-year deal at $5.1 million is looking pretty damn good right now. He was great defensively last year, 34 points. And now just slowly moving up the roster, moving up the lineup. Emil Lilberg, solid NHL defenseman. Okay, very good value there. Anyone else catching my eye? Yeah, at this point, like, again, like, these guys, they're either NHLers or they're not. Joshua Wah, how's he doing? Okay, still pretty good in the AHL. There were some decent expectations or hype around him after he dominated the QMJHL for 2 seasons. But yeah, Montreal just has a bunch of young forwards, so he hasn't really been able to stick. Anybody else? Any steals? Bardakov, he's in Colorado right now. And actually getting some run. I keep on saying run and burn in this video. Joel Nystrom. Carolina's used them this season. Good for him. Taylor McCarr, Colorado. He appeared in some games this year and actually has been pretty solid in the AHL. Good for him. Also was an overager in this draft. And then Carl Lindbaum. He's been very good for Vegas this season. A 919 save percentage. Oh, no, that's the... Oh, I just read the AHL stats instead of the NHL stats. Have not been very good at the NHL level, but Vegas just had a lot of injuries in terms of net to 8-0, so he's had to step up, but he's still pretty young. And yeah, let me know in the comments Sam Lipkin, how's he doing? He was very good in college. It's not really quite translated to the pro game. But yeah, anyway, let me know in the comments, what do you think about the 2021 NHL draft? I'm not going to lie, I was pretty disappointed. This draft low-key stinks. Like, it might be even worse than 2021 at this point, unless guys like Matty Beniers, Owen Power, Luke Hughes really turn around, Kent Johnson. But yeah, this was pretty eye-opening. 2021, no bueno right now, but let me know, what do you think? Did your team draft well in this draft? I'll be seeing the next one podcast, hopefully tomorrow, if not Saturday. Peace.